Hi guys, and welcome to the Truth Factor, where we do headlines with an attitude. We've got quite a few. This has been kind of a crazy week for headlines. A lot has happened. I've tried to do a couple of posts of what I thought was like the main important stuff in a community tab for everybody, but we've been really busy. I told you guys we were gonna go out of town camping with the kiddos and fishing, and we did that, and we had a wonderful time. And we just, when you get back, you still have so many things to do, and it's just been a busy week, guys. It really has. It's been like nonstop busy. Have just had so much to do. Hi, Miss Helen. How are you? I hope everybody is well there as well. We grilled out sausages earlier today, so I'm still trying to
munch. She's live.
Eat. But I wanted to get this stream out. I got a call from Kev. He's talking about how awesome his backyard is in Kaz. So don't forget, we got Kaz to go to, guys. Things get crazy. I saw the stuff happening, going down thanks to Kevin. I missed the article about the riot in New York over free PlayStations, that somebody said they was going to give out free PlayStations and they didn't give them out, or some mess. But it's crazy. Thank you, Helen. But it's crazy, guys. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, I will tell you why anybody's upset that they didn't get something for free. I don't know. But it is what it is. Maybe it was to do exactly what the outcome was, just to stir the pot. Then we have a lot of information. Seems like a lot of old diseases are coming out. A lot of it has to do with fleas and mosquitoes. So, right. Well, unless it's a big corporation, I don't know. Anyway, let's get into these articles, guys. Got the last bit of my little sausage.
Who's going to do the doll? No one. We'll share. I shared to my mind
Okay. A lot to share tonight, guys, but we're going to try and get into it all. We covered, I think, Friday, the situation that took place with the Wagner Group in Africa. But it seems like it's escalated to where the United States is going to step in here, guys. Not good, if you ask me. But, I don't think they care what I think. They should. It's voters like us that, put them in office. So, they should. There we go. Anyway, so let's get into this first article here. This is from Hal Turner. A medical alert. Typhus, I guess. Typhus is what I would say. Death spike in Los Angeles. Health experts are alarmed at a spike in the typhoid cases in Los Angeles County, where 3 recent deaths have been blamed on this disease. The disease is spread by fleas that have come into contact with animals, cats, possums, dogs, and rodents that are carrying the illness. In 1930s and the 40s, typhus was rampant throughout the U.S. according to historical data. But by 1987, after decades of rodent control measures, typhus was rare in the U.S., that it was removed from the list of diseases the doctors must report to health officials. Cases of typhus, however, began creeping up in 2010, and last year there were 171 cases in Los Angeles alone. These 3 deaths are a wake-up call to start thinking about the disease and severe manifestations and the effect on our communities. Dr. Uma Alman Hala, a medical epidemiologist at the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health, told CNN. Other cases of typhoon reported in the U.S. occurred in Texas, Hawaii, worldwide. The disease is found in Southeast Asia, Africa, Central and South America, Southern Europe, and the Middle East. Holly, like other doctors, is concerned about a big surge in the typhoon cases and that many doctors today might not even recognize the symptoms of these once rare diseases. Symptoms can include fever, chills, body aches, headaches, muscle pain, loss of appetite, nausea, vomiting, and a rash on the chest, back, arms, or legs. And this is absolutely kind of crazy, guys, because you think about it, isn't that all the symptoms of you know, the CB stuff? I mean, that you could have a flu and have all those symptoms. There's just, it's kind of a, you know, just a broad spectrum of things that you could have. You definitely could have, you know, even chickenpox with a rash, you know, measles maybe, I don't know. But anyway, however, majority of people are asymptomatic or have very mild disease. They might just get a headache and not even know that it was what it was they had. Dr. Gina Alcrin, an epidemic intelligence service officer with the Center for Disease and Control and Prevention. I'm concerned that there could be cases where the patient does go to see the doctor, but the doctor might not know to test for this disease, Alcrin added. So there's no vaccine for typhoon, but early treatment with antibiotic and dicycline can cure most cases. About a third of infected people will need intensive care for seizures, meningitis, or septic shock. To avoid any treatment delays, healthcare providers should consider flea-borne typhus in any patient with a fever, headache, and rash, particularly in patient that lives in a recently traveled to an area that the endemic disease had exposure to a reservoir, animal, rodents, possums, or feral cats, according to a report from the CDC. Experts claim that the recent case in typhoon cases could be due to the prevalence of a cat flea, which affects both pets, free-roaming animals, or because of increase in rodent population in urban and suburban areas. Yep. Hi, Kelly. Fleas and LA flea. Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I like that. I'm trying to, I like that. Gotta share that. Oh, you know it's coming.
This is my way.
Before leaving the house, I hear you, sister.
It doesn't matter. You're not wearing. She can wear.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, so haven't heard anything about this typhoon stuff going on? That's kind of crazy, especially if it's a real problem. So maybe we've got some wrong information. I don't know. But I'm sharing you what's coming out as soon as it comes out, as quickly as I can. Anyway, let's go on to the CDC confirms an outbreak of the dengue fever in the U.S. Now, guys, this is something that nobody wants here, as if any of it, we don't want any of it. But this one here is mosquitoes, of course. The Center for Disease and Control and Prevention, CDC, provisionally confirmed a U.S. outbreak of dengue fever is on Wednesday. At present, there are 225 cases of dengue fever in the U.S. and 315 in the U.S. territory of Puerto Rico. According to the CDC, Florida is bearing the brunt of the outbreak with 96 travel-associated cases and 2 local transmissions. New York has been hit with 23 cases, and 1 person has been infected locally in Texas. A majority of the cases in Florida were contracted during a trip to Cuba, according to a vax before travel. Outbreaks of dengue have erupted around the world, and more than 100,000 people infected and 200 dead in Peru. The country is currently going through a mega fumigation campaign to rid the population of mosquitoes that carry the disease. The disease is spread via mosquito bites, and symptoms include severe pain in the patient's eyes, head, muscle joints, as well as a high fever, nausea, vomiting, and fatigue. Severe dengue fever can also cause internal bleeding and organ damage. Blood pressure can drop to dangerous levels, causing shock in some cases. Severe dengue fever can lead to death. Women can get dengue fever during pregnancy and may be able to spread the virus to the baby during childbirth. That's absolutely frightening, guys. For anybody that might be pregnant, that would be very a startling discovery there, guys. Hey, Kevin. How are you, brother? Yeah. Oh, you have mosquitoes now, too? Well, see, now they've got all this. And then, of course, this was on August 3rd.
Because that's where they were. They were on a chair.
New York City health official, illegal immigration, bringing tuberculosis, polio to New York. New York City Health Commissioner Ashwin Vasan announced that illegal immigration has been ushering a new wave of tuberculosis and polio to the city. In the citywide letter to the Physicians and Healthcare Administration last week, Vasan said that more than 50,000 illegal immigrants that have come to New York since last year caused a spike in contagious diseases like tuberculosis and polio. New York City's TB rate at a 6.1 case per 100,000 is more than double a national rate. Close to 9 out of 10, which is 88% of these TB cases, are people born outside of the United States. Wow. So maybe if we closed our borders, they are indeed, Kelly, little fly needles. Maybe if we closed our borders, we might solve some of this TB problem, right? But, they're really not concerned about the spread of these diseases, because if they were, we wouldn't have open borders to begin with without screening. Oh, well, congratulations, Kevin, bringing those two boys into this world. Congratulations, Papa. Congratulations. All right. Then let's see. Not done with the medical stuff yet, guys. We also have this from Hal Turner. Who would you thunk? Who would have thunk it? Don't you just love it? Who would have thunk it? Oh, so fine of writing here. Kind of comical in some aspects of it. Anyway, employees are given a special badge of,
Hello.
that wonderful. Oh, don't you just look so beautiful? That wonderful sleever stuff, In a testimony before Australian Parliament Committee, Senator executives of Pfizer admit that their employees received a special badge of that sleeve that had not been tested by Australian authorities. What Pfizer employees got was different from what they forced on the public. The video below of the Australian Senate Education and Employment Legislation Committee reveals the scandal. I didn't share out. And I don't know if there's music in this video. I didn't get a chance to read it, guys. I really kind of pulled this all together really quick, so I will not play it. But it's in this article, guys, which is in the website. Many people in general public have wondered aloud if the Pfizer people and the politicians, officials all got harmless saline solutions as their supposed sleevers. Now we know factually those employees of Pfizer's did get something different than the public. Why? Inquiry minds want to know, right? Your nephew and your son's best friend each had boys. Well, that is so. Congratulations, Unc. Congratulations. That's awesome, Kevin. Uncle Kev. Probably the coolest uncle on the block. Heck yeah. You got my vote anyway. All right. So then, as if that wasn't enough to scare you already, guys, we're going to talk about this here. This isn't really new news because I have heard other people talk about this. There's other videos out there that talk about the same very thing. But here we have, mainstream news covering that new evidence suggests that the sleeved people can transmit the, sleever antibodies through the air. New evidence suggests that the sleeved individuals can transmit antibodies generated through the mRNA 19 sleever to the unsleeved individuals through aerosols, according to a peer-reviewed study. And there's the PDF right there in the Horizons. Extended mask requirements allowed scientists of the University of Colorado to evaluate whether vaccinated individuals could transfer aerosol antibodies generated from the 19 sleeves. Aerosols are manufactured or naturally occurring suspension of particles of droplets in the air, such as airborne dust, mist, fumes, or smoke that can be absorbed by the skin or inhaled. Researchers used a combination of tests to detect the SARS-CoV-2 specific antibodies from masked sleeved lab members wore and donated anonymously at the end of the day. Antibodies are proteins produced by the immune systems that circulate in the blood and neutralize foreign substance, such as bacteria and viruses. Consistent with the results reported by others, the researchers identified both the immune globulin G, the IgG, and immunoglobulin A, IgA antibodies in the saliva of the sleeved individual and on their mask. Based on their observations, the researchers hypothesized droplet or aerosol antibody transfer might occur when between individuals, similar to how droplets and aerosol viral particles are transferred by the same route. To test their hypothesis, they obtained and compared nasal swabs from unsleeved children living in sleeved and unsleeved and 19 positive households. Results showed the high Ig in noses of the sleeved parents was significantly associated with an increase in the intranasal Ig with the unsleeved child from the same household, especially compared to the complete deficit of the SARS-CoV-2 specific antibody detected in nasal swabs obtained from children in non-sleeved families. A similar trend was found from the IgA in the same samples. In other words, their findings suggest the aerosols transmission of antibodies can occur between the 19 sleeved parents and their children, and the tendency for the transfer is directly related to the amount of nasal or oral antibodies found in those who receive the sleeves. The type of shedding is called passive immunization, where antibodies, primarily IgA, are actually exchanged between individuals through respiratory droplets. Brian Hooker, Chief Scientific Officer at the Children's Health Defense, who holds a doctorate in biochemical engineering, wrote in an email to the Epoch Times, but this would provide minimal immunity for the bystanders based on the fact that the original mRNA sleeves provide so little protection. Mr. Hooker said passive immunization could elicit autoimmunity and all sorts of reactions in bystanders due to a similar molecule mimicry between the 19 immunoglobulin antibodies and human proteins. Anyway, guys, I tell you, this is absolutely just in my opinions, just very frightening. And I have to ask you, I mean, I can't recall of any other type of sleever that had ever been so potent that when you shed these proteins or these droplets or whatever, that you're passing them on. Hello, Miss Tanya. How are you? So I'm kind of curious, um, is there anyone out there that knows? Is there another sleeved thing that would cause viral transmission of the antibodies from the sleeve? I don't know. And I'm asking as a serious question, but it is absolutely, for people that have been thinking that, uh, I'll get it, but I won't give it to my kids. This kind of just is really kind of interesting type of study, I think. Oh, wow, Tanya. So did you, I mean, just curious. So you didn't get it, but your autoimmune issue came after you were around others. Is that what you're saying? Yes. Yes, absolutely, Helen. Like I said, we have seen other articles and other videos and other people talk about this. And they have really seriously been talking about this for quite some time. Um, oh wow. And that is crazy, Tanya. That is absolutely kind of crazy. So I'm just curious, that is scary to know that you could be around these other individuals and then start having issues. And I'm just curious, does anybody know if there is any other I hear you, Daryl. Um wow. So, does anybody know of any other kind of, medicine or anything to that nature that when you take it, that, you can uh, transfer the same antibodies to the other person? I'm not sure. I'm curious. I am curious. I don't know. I don't know enough about all the, childhood vaccines and stuff. Now, I know that, you know, I I know you wouldn't want to go around somebody after you received a live virus, but I don't know that um, anybody actually got the same occurrence. Rather interesting. And your husband gets them, and you've been fine too, and got and everything. Well, that is good to know, Kelly. That is good to know. And I think each person, there's different stories, I mean, you're hearing different kinds of things from different people. So, which it's interesting to hear and to get firsthand, an account of these things, especially since, these things are coming more prevalent. Hi, Rhodey. How are you, honey? You're welding out in the heat. Oh my goodness sakes. And that just makes for an even hotter day. How's my Hoosier friend up there in the Indy area, Daryl? How are you tonight, brother? Uh, anyway, let's continue on, guys. Um, just thought it was rather interesting article, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of controversy about it. Always is, but they keep putting out more and more articles, and this one here is from what I consider a mainstream source, as Zero Hedge is. Anyway, so then we have also from End Time Headlines, a cyber attack disrupts hospitals and healthcare across 5 states, guys. 5 states. A cyber attack has disrupted hospital computer systems in several states, forcing some emergency rooms to close and ambulances to be diverted. And many primary care services remain closed on Friday as security experts work to determine the extent of the problem and resolve it. The data security incident began Thursday at facilities operated by Prospects Medical Holdings, which is based in California and has hospitals and clinics there in Texas, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Pennsylvania. Upon learning this, we took our systems offline to protect them and launched an investigation with the help of a third-party cybersecurity specialist, the company said in a statement Friday. While our investigation continues, we are focused on addressing the pressing needs of our patients as we work diligently to return to normal operation as quickly as possible. In Connecticut, the emergency department at Manchester Memorial and Rockville General Hospital were closed for much of Thursday, and patients were diverted to other nearby medical centers. We have a national prospect team working and evaluating the impact of the attack on all organizations. Jillian Menzel, Chief Operating Officer for the Eastern Connecticut Health Network, said in a statement. Elective surgeries, outpatient appointments, blood drives, and other services were suspended. And while the emergency department reopened late Thursday, many primary services were closed on Friday, according to the Eastern Connecticut Health Network, which runs the facility. Patients were being contacted individually, according to Network's website. Similar disruptions were also reported at other facilities system-wide. Waterbury Hospital is following downtime procedures, including the use of paper records until the situation is resolved. Spokeswoman Larisha Zihani said in a statement, "We are working closely with IT security experts to resolve it as quickly as possible." Okay, guys. Now, I don't know if you remember, I covered a cyber attack that happened at Proper International, and we were talking about that, and I had heard of a couple of hospitals, one that actually closed down because of cybersecurity, and they stayed off the line, I guess, and never got back on. But then there's another one that's, I guess, from what I could tell, had stayed open, but was kind of sent to the dark ages. This is kind of crazy that we're going to run our systems with no backup system, that if something happens, we have to completely shut down. So what's going to happen if you have a heart attack and you're en route to that hospital, and they could have given you some life-saving treatment, but because all of a sudden we are attacked and our systems get shut down, we have to send you to another facility? It's absolutely crazy. And you can't, I mean, come on, you can't tell me we forgot how to take notes and to write charts. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous that, we depend on these machines so much that, by God, if we can't put them into the system, then we're just doomed. We have to close everything down. It's ridiculous. I'm sorry, Daryl. Anyway. Yeah, I ain't gonna talk about all the alien stuff, guys. That's not my cup of tea, guys. I'm not gonna push that stuff. But there's lots of alien talk out there. Let me tell you, that's for sure, Daryl. Lots of it. Anyway, so then we also have why are U.S. banks abruptly freezing accounts and halting withdrawals without warning or explanation? U.S. banks are increasingly closing customer accounts and freezing withdrawals without warning, according to a new report. A growing number of people say that they're abruptly losing access to both their checking and savings accounts, reports CBS Los Angeles. The report cites the sudden account closure of Elad Norahore, who received an anonymous alert while logging to his Bank of America account. He then drove to the branch in West LA, where he was told his account had been shut down and access to his life savings was denied. Bank of America told me it was shut down. They refused to give me an explanation. They told me I would get my money after it was resolved. All of a sudden, I find out I'm broke. I can't feed my family, and I can't pay my expenses. Banks typically shut down accounts over concerns of suspicious behavior, but according to the Banking Policy Institute, only 4% of suspicious activity reports submitted by banks to law enforcement result in follow-up, and small fraction of the follow-ups result in arrest and convictions. Back in 2014, the number of SARS submitted to by banks stood at about 830,000. That number has significantly increased in recent years at about 1.4 million SARs reported in 2021. In addition, Republican Attorney General in 19 states recently accused JP Morgan of persistently discriminating against its own clients and closing bank accounts without warning based on religious and political biases. Nahore says Bank of America, which has 1.4 trillion in assets under management, said it would take up to 20 days to review his account. It's another one of those situations where you just, how do you deal with this massive bank, this massive power that you have no control over? I was shocked to find out that this actually relatively common. And my heart goes out to these people. I mean, this isn't, it sounds almost like the same article that I read not too long ago, and it might be, and they're just resurfacing it, but it was in the lineup. So we're covering it again. But absolutely crazy to know that, they can freeze your stuff and you'll be broke. Got to have some kind of backup plan, right? What is it? Will you get this kitty cat? My goodness, she's starved for attention. Play with her. What, baby?
Can I show you a fashion show?
Not right now. Get the cat.
What?
Yeah, why, baby? You might want to show Papa a fashion show.
No.
You could show me when I am.
Hey, let her finish your thing.
A Ukraine Marine drone hits Russian ships and explodes. Hal Turner. Ukrainian sea drones attacked a Navy base at one of Russia's largest Black Sea ports, of Russian Ministry of Defense said Friday, claiming that both of the drones used in the attack had been destroyed. Ukrainian sources said a Russian naval vessel was damaged in the attack. However, the video posted online appeared to show a ship listing to one side. The overnight attack hit Russia Novossek naval base on the Black Sea, and it has reportedly forced a temporary halt to all ship movement at the key port. Clashes in around Ukraine's Black Sea ports, which are currently blockaded by Russian forces. Ouch! And at least one major river port has escalated the collapse of internationally brokered deal that had for a year up until last month allowed for the safe export of vital grain supplies from Ukraine. Russia pulled out the deal and since has attacked the ports from which Ukrainian significant grain supplies are exported around the world, driving global grain prices up more than 10% in immediate aftermath and threatening to keep them on the rise. You are so crazy, cat. I got a cat, but it's just starved for attention tonight. Anyway, so then, come on, stop it, baby. You're so crazy. Stop. All right. So stop. Where is the water bottle? You just go and get it. You know it's empty. Okay. So then the next thing we have going on, guys, is war in Africa. Come on. Get down. This cat is killing me. There was a couple other things. Let me see. We did the Russian ship. We did it. Okay. All right. Just making sure, guys. I knew I had the other article. Anyway. War in Africa. Niger out of country. ECOWAS and French negotiations collapse. Deposed president calls on the U.S. to intervene. The Black Continent is headed full speed towards the biggest war in its modern history. Today's ECOWAS negotiations with Niger authorities have collapsed. We remind you that typically expires in 48 hours. Reports indicate the ECOWAS delegation deported today from the country's capital. Niamey, Niger's new leadership has refused to meet with the negotiators while the organization's ultimatum expires on August 6th. Stop it. Immediately afterwards, the ECOWAS commissioner threatened, saying, ECOWAS is not going to tell the coup plotters when or where to strike. That decision will be made by the head of state. West African defense chiefs have prepared a plan for possible intervention in Niger, including how and when to deploy forces. At the same time, the president of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, formally asked the Nigerian Senate to support a full-scale military intervention in Niger, while also calling for a blockade of the land and air routes to and from Niger. The arrested president of Niger, Mohamed Bazoum, wrote an article today calling for an effective authorizing military intervention against his country. Notably, after the French channels were banned from broadcasting in Niger, Bazoum had to send his appeal to the American journalists at the Washington Post. Bazoum called himself a hostage and asked for the help of the United States. It specifically mentions, I write this as a hostage. Niger is under attack by military junta trying to overthrow our democracy. If it succeeds, it will have devastating consequences for our country, our region, and the entire world. In our hour of need, I call on the United States government and the entire international community to help us restore our constitutional order. The entire central Sahel region could fall under Russian influence through Wagner. And then Niger's new authorities announced the termination of all military and technical cooperation agreements with France. France has about 1,500 soldiers who must leave soon. The authorities of Niger did not speak of cooperation, but of colonial pressure from Paris. Niger's new authorities also terminated the powers of 4 ambassadors who are accused of supporting colonialism in the interest of France and other Western countries. Sources say that the military council in Niger has taken the decision to suspend diplomatic relations with France, Nigeria, Togo, and the United States, with Niger's ambassador to these countries instructed to cease all further engagement with them. The government, but Paris does not recognize the decision by Niger's interim government to end the military cooperation. According to the French foreign ministry, Niger's leader, who was deposed by the rebels, is the only one recognized by France and the entire international community. Therefore, the decision of the new authorities are illegal and not recognized by Paris. French officials say that they have received information that Niger's new authorities came into contact with representatives of Wagner PMC during a recent visit by the country official to Mali's capital of Bamako. Meanwhile, the French press is adding fuel to the fire, which refers to the agreements between the administration of General Adamcom Tassini and the leadership of Wagner. Newspapers are full of headlines like the Kremlin's long arm reached into Niger's uranium mines and stresses that the large groups of musicians are in neighboring countries. The Nigerian armed forces are now on full alert. This is reported by the Wall Street Journal, citing a Nigerian army officer who was wished to remain anonymous. War News 247 has published this information 48 hours ago. The Nigerian army forces numbered 143,000, including 100,000 in the ground forces. The ground forces include 3 infantry brigades, 2 mechanized brigades, and 3 tank brigades, 1 operational brigade, and 1 Ranger battalion, and 1 Special Forces battalion, and other units. Niger has incomparably a smaller army of more than 10,000 people based on ground forces of 10 motorized infantry battalions. Niger's transitional government, led by the General Tashi, is negotiating with authorities neighboring Mali, Algeria, and Burkina Faso on the issue of joint action should France and pro-Western African ECOWAS countries decide to send troops in Niger. In turn, Niger's new military authorities said that they would respond with force to the arms to any attempted invasion. In addition, neighboring Mali and Burkina Faso said that they would perceive the ECOWAS attack on Niger as an aggression against them. Algeria, which was the second largest army in the African continent, has also promised to mediate for Niger. If the country in ECOWAS and the European Union, as well as Algeria, Mali, and Burkina Faso become involved in hostilities, then a large-scale armed conflict will break out in the region. One of the leaders of the National Council of Defense of the homeland of Niger, General Salfou Mahdi, met with President Ibrahim Traoré in Burkina Faso. RFI radio station report citing the statement of the office of the president of Burkina Faso. In the capital of Burkina, Mahdi discussed the president toward the issue of the possible Western attack. General Mahdi himself said that National Council for the Defense of Homeland does not want Niger to turn into a new Libya destroyed by Western aggression. According to Mahdi, Niger and Burkina Faso, possibly Mali, will join forces to ensure that such a scenario is not possible. A number of security and defense measures are already being taken, General Mahdi stressed. Anyway, yeah. Looks like we got another front to worry about, which we had talked about this the last stream we did. I believe I covered an article. It seems like shared an article or something to that effect. Okay. So then, guys, we also have the New York Post. Full-on riot breaks out during Kai Cenat's PS5 giveaway in New York City's Union Square. Twitch influenced to be charged. I guess he's going to get charged, but these days we know being charged with anything in New York doesn't really matter. But, we'll see how well that goes. Unless your name is Trump. Let me get it right, guys. Let me get it right. And I'm not saying that in support of Trump by no means, but anyway. We have a Twitch influencer giveaway in Manhattan quickly morphed into mayhem Friday as thousands of his young fans mobbed Union Square Park, assaulting cops, smashing cars, and screaming "F the PD" in wild, nearly 3-hour scene. Gamer K Sennett, who has over 20 million Twitch followers, planned to give away PlayStation 5 computers, microphones, and other gaming accessories at the real-life meetup scheduled for 3:30 p.m. The location of the mass gathering wasn't announced until just before Sennett arrived at the park, and the permit was never obtained, officials said. The video shows the 21-year-old live streamer getting hyped up with his crew in a party bus before he heads to the park, where he's immediately mobbed by thousands of cheering fans. Within a half hour, the crowd of a couple thousand turned violent, and rioters tossing cones, bottles, rocks, and brawling with each other. Well, of course, it's a brawl, a free brawl, right? Oh, mercy. And NYPD whisking Sennett out of the area for his safety. The NYPD Chief of Department, Jeffrey Mattray, said the NYPD became aware at about 1:30 of the crowd forming in Union Square. It was quickly determined that the influencer was posting on social media about showing up to Union Square, where he was encouraging all of his followers to come to the park. Mattray said that the press conference late Friday afternoon. I have no clue who this kid is, obviously. But we will continue. The crowd was swarmed with the influencer finally arrived at the park. Individuals in the park began to commit acts of violence toward the police and the public. The NYPD's riot squad was called to the park as the mayhem spread down Lafayette and Bleecker streets. Police sources described the chaos as a full-on riot. It looks like, oh my goodness. Wow. Police sources describe the chaos resulted in arrest of 65 people, including Sennett and 30 minors, police said. Sennett was taken in Upper East Side precinct and facing chases of inciting a riot, unlawfully assembly, Maddrey said. It is unknown if Sennett actually ended up giving anything away. 3 officers and 4 civilians were injured, cops said. Aerial footage showed the mob flooding the streets, with some teens using barricades to stop the cops. They also tossed bottles, eggs, construction equipment, screaming, "F the PD, suck my DK." And 2 teenagers also allegedly threw garbage cans at police officers at East and 10th Street and Broadway. Some carried axes and shovels, and Maddrey said kids were throwing fireworks at the police and other attendees. The video captured the kids screaming and climbing on vehicles as one appeared to use the sharp end of an umbrella to smash the parked car. Wow. Goodness sakes. That guy can draw a crowd, can he? Post reporters witnessed rioters chucking a desk lamp and parking cones at police as they tried to quell the crowd. Mattray said some cops were injured and hospitalized, but it was unclear how many. It was a very dangerous situation, Mattray said. We were in there. We were crushed. We were pushed. I had officers on the floor. I was hit with multiple objects as well. I think a couple of injuries, but I'll figure out that when I have time to think about it. It's not like huge, but it's enough people there, guys, especially when they all come together. Wow, guys. Man, absolutely insane. Anyway, the chief said several teens were also injured. The NYPD managed to dissipate the crowd just before 6, with cops tailing some groups as they dispersed south. An MTA bus was loaded with dozens of arrestees, with some trying to attack the vehicle as it pulled off away from the scene. A total of 19 juveniles and 9 adults have been collared so far, sources said, but Mattery said that the total number of arrests is still being tallied. Wow. Let's throw the flowers, right? Mercy. And he's laughing. So is this a joke? I mean, come on. Are we playing? This is hysterical. Jonathan Maya, a 15-year-old downtown Brooklyn, arrived at the park around 4 p.m. to see Sinat, whom he said is really my inspiration. The teen said he saw children throwing objects at riot cops by the famous Strand bookstore off Broadway. Strand bookstore, not Stand, Strand. When we came over here, they were destroying people's cars, and ST, I don't know, me just said, I am with my friends, and they were like, let's get the F out of it. Okay. Vendor Mohammed Ramadan, 39, said a group of kids destroyed the top of his food truck and estimated that they did $2,000 in damages. They broke the cart, the food truck. They got on the cart and took all the stuff and they pushed it. The cart, he said, it was kids. It was kids. My gosh, guys. They come from a YouTuber, they run away, and they make a lot of damage for the street. So, guys, they came for a YouTuber. How do you know? All of this is, I would say, to kind of silence people. Oh my God, that looked gross. Silence people in the YouTube community, maybe. I don't know. Put another target on other people. Absolutely crazy. Then in your For Your Eyes section, guys, this is an article. I believe I shared this in the community tab, but if not, there it is for your viewing pleasure. I hope you guys enjoy it. Anyway, absolutely strange events, stranger than stranger, guys. He has some important information. Sure, hold on. Let me, hold on. Oh, we got. There we go. All right, guys, let me call in. It's been a long time since we've used this, so.
Well, better.
You ready for my messenger?
Oh, that's awesome. I like that. That's pretty.
Let's hear what Kevin's got. Hopefully Kevin can see.
Mama, are you done?
Welcome and thank you for choosing
No, she's still alive,
freeconferencecall.com.
baby.
You're helping people around the
Hey, come
world
on.
communicate for free.
Me
Please
too.
enter your access code followed by the pound or hash sign.
Hello. Beep, bop, 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 boo.
If you are the host, press star now. Otherwise, please wait and you will be please enter your PIN followed by the pound or hash. Thank you. You are the only participant in the conference.
Okay, so we'll wait for him to give us a call. I'm live. I got logged in. Hey, Carol, how are you, honey? Who knows, Helen? Who knows, honey? Kevin may have already left. I'll wait a few minutes because I know there's a little bit of delay. mercy. Resting today. I hear you, sister. I'm ready to rest myself. We're gonna have some prayer tonight. It's gonna be a little late, probably be at 9:45, depending on how long this call goes, if it even happens. There's our birthday girl.
Doing a fashion show.
Mm-hmm. She's sharing her fashion show with you guys. You have on boots with that dress, Missy?
Yes, I do.
My word. I wish y'all could see her feet.
Why? It's sparkly.
Well, because, well, okay.
You know, you could just grab the camera.
Maybe Kevin had to go.
You know, you could just
I got-
grab the camera.
I'm going to give him another minute.
And you know, you can just grab the camera. We'll play the somewhere.
Yeah, we won't. You're so crazy, though. She's a hot mess, let me tell you. We've had, some fun. Some exhausting fun, let me tell you. She always wants to sleep outside. She always wants to go camping. Papa goes camping with the boys all the time. And so it was her birthday. She was making Papa take her camping. Papa wasn't happy. Mama forgot the dang on blanket. We had just my little purple blanket and Avery's blanket. It just didn't work out so well. He was freezing. But we had a good time, let me tell you. Let me tell you, it was a blast. Thank you, Miss Helen. She is pretty, isn't she? I guess Kevin is MIA now. I'm sorry, Kevin. If you come back and watch the end of this, I apologize, brother, that I didn't see the comment sooner. But God is good, and I love you. And maybe another time, I guess. And it is fun, isn't it? She's gonna go do another change. She's a hot mess. But I want to have Bible here, so I'm gonna wait just another few minutes, and then we're gonna end the stream, guys. We'll see if Kevin calls in the next few minutes. If he doesn't call, my apologies again to Kev. I love you, brother. Sorry I didn't see the comment. Tick tock, tick tock. Anyway, sounds like it's been a very exhausting week. I heard Trump got another indictment. You know, I mean, that was all the buzz yesterday. And guys, he's not my favorite person, so I just did not feel like covering another indictment right now. I mean, whether he's my favorite person or not, I'll have to tell you that I think it's a bunch of malarkey, the things that is happening. So, but we'll just see how much more comes out, if anything, if they pursue it, if it matters, you know, I don't know. Anyway. All right, sister. You have a blessed night, Miss Helen. God bless you, sister. All right, guys. I'm not seeing Kevin, and I gave him another couple extra minutes. So I love you, Kev. We waited out for you, and I'm sorry that you didn't get to call in, but give me a buzz, and maybe we'll do something tomorrow. Just cause we can. Anyway, love you, brother. I love you all. I hope each and every one of you have a wonderful, blessed night. And we'll see you guys in just a few. If we don't do anything much more than have prayer, we need to have prayer. We got lots happening. And it just seems to continue to escalate. And guys, I just, lots to talk about. Anyway, God bless you all. I love you. And we will see you in a few. Anyway, God bless you. We'll see you in about, I think it's 9:30, 15 minutes, guys. Give me about 15 minutes and we'll have prayer. Anyway, much love, guys. Bye.